Welcome back to Rebuild Rescue. Today we're here in the rescue hangar with the 235 and we're going to get the engine off and kind of look at some of the airframe and see what we're going to have to fix to get this thing back in the air again. One of the things I know we're going to have to do, we have a couple different choices on this engine. If you remember from the first episode, it did have a prop strike. We did dial it out. It is like pretty close to perfect. It's within spec. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna send this out to an overhaul shop. We're gonna have an IRAND or a complete overhaul. We're not sure yet because the engine only has 1,000 hours on it. So there's 1,000 hours left on it, and it's a difference of $50,000 or $45,000 and 20,000 hours to do that. The main thing is it gets gone over, it gets ran on a test cell, so it runs about 3 or 4 hours, making sure it's gonna run good. And then there's all kinds of tests and checks done even before we get it back here to the rescue hangar and get it back on this airframe. And I think they said it's about 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Until, it takes them about 10 weeks to do what they got to do. They're backed up. Everybody in aviation is backed up right now. But that'll give us 10 weeks to get the wings checked out, to get those mounted back up, to get anything else addressed, and even to get all the avionics put back in this 235. And I can't wait to fly this thing with that whole nice glass panel beautifulness. It'll be a nice airplane. All right, let's get at it, man.
I kind of like this way.
Yeah, that's your side. It's my side. Stay over there.
Well, I don't have a door on that side.
I wish we had a really big magnet right now.
What are you doing with that?
I think this will work.
Okay. Oh, we have a winner.
That worked a little better.
There's a few zip ties in there.
There is a few zip ties in there. So I have a feeling when the avionics were pulled out, that's what was holding the avionics in. So it's sometime, I'd say in the last maybe 4 years, maybe 5 years, it looks like this interior was done. It's got some really good carpet and it has the better underlayment and sound deadening all throughout it. And it's pretty clean. So I think this will clean up pretty much like new. There we go. Well, it looks like we got some more goodies here in the back seat area, all the belts and some of the other bolts, and of course we got a water bottle and some plastic baggies. So we'll go ahead, we'll get this cleaned out. We're gonna get this cleaned out. We did have, because this hydraulic line for the brakes was unhooked, it leaked all over the floor here and it made everything super sticky. So we'll go ahead, we'll get all this cleaned out. We're gonna get this floor cleaned out, get it all vacked out, make it good as new. So while I'm cleaning this thing out, Greg is inspecting where the bolts were pulled out of the spar on the wing and on the fuselage, and just checking the whole thing out, seeing what we're gonna need to get this thing back together. Besides a lot. Any airplane, it always takes a lot. A lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of heartache. That's an airplane in a nutshell.
What'd they hit with this? Went off the runway and bent it back?
It landed...
Did they run over anything?
No, it landed in soft, in between the runway in soft sod, I think it said in the report.
It's got a hole punched in the belly on the back.
So while Joe and Greg start to get that engine off, I'm gonna go ahead and get in here. I'm gonna clean all the floor up. I'm gonna get a vacuum. I'm just gonna scrub this up. It's so dirty. This is just from cleaning those bolts out. Unfortunately, when you have an airplane that's this old, it gets worked on tons of times, and I don't think I don't think many people bother to clean it like where it needs cleaned the most. So we're gonna get this thing spotless. They're gonna get that engine off. We're gonna get this thing looking brand new. All right, so I'll get it looking kind of new. Well, it'll look pretty good.
Control cable's gonna have to come off, prop cable. You see I unhooked it there, that'll have to come off. We'll have to get underneath mixture, throttle control, anything that's going from the engine to the firewall, fuel lines, pressure lines, mag wire, stuff like that.
How long do you think all that will take?
A couple of hours. It don't take too long. They dialed this and it was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was within 1,000.
My buddy's down in New Garden, and he's got the Very Easy one and funky backwards planes, and he's got a 235 engine on it. Not a Cherokee 235, but a 235 engine on it, and he wants to get to a 320. So we're looking at one. Forget what airplane it was in, but crashed. And it looks like it was low power. It has the blades bent completely underneath the thing, and you can physically see the crank is bent. It bent it that far.
I'm literally looking over here.
Bent, smashed.
Bent, smashed. So pretty much like you'd assume any airplane that decides to land in the soft grass and get the front end stuck in the mud and fold under. Nothing alarming. It looks like we got a air box is definitely smooshed. Exhaust is definitely smooshed.
Exhaust is probably sheared here too because it bent it back.
Yeah. Well, we'll replace that whole thing.
Twisted and sheared.
Yeah. How's this firewall looking? It doesn't look. The firewall doesn't look too bad. But I guess we'll see once we get the engine off.
No, it's got a little moon where the gear went back and hit it,
Yeah, tiny kink there.
but I don't see it bent too much.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like the engine smashed back; the gear broke.
Right,
off.
right.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
know what I mean?
it's not going to be. I don't see any
yours was the same
firewall.
way, the firewall
It was the
was
exact
like
same. Like the damage on 9.3 whiskey was pretty much identical to this. The
Yeah,
only-
you were just going slower when it collapsed. This looks
Right.
like it was going faster, and when it collapsed, it kicked it back.
Correct. Yeah. Well, and it was soft, real soft grass. I looked at the NTSB report. It said it was a really soft field that they landed in, so I think it really stuck. Once we get this off too, I can see it almost looks like somebody put JB Weld back here, and it also looks like there's a bolt missing. So it's going to be good that the engine goes out and gets pulled apart and gone over. All right, so we got this thing pretty much cleaned up. There's still some gunk in the corners. It's still going to take probably another, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours with some different solvents that are non-corrosive to get like all these corners cleaned out. And you guys might ask yourself, hey, you know, why did you bother at this point in this project? Why'd you bother cleaning this up? So a lot of these PA-28s and a lot of other airplanes I look at, they have so much crud in them in different places that you can't even see if there's any damage, if there's any cracks, if there's any issues, if there's any pulled rivets. Like the gunk and everything was so thick in here, you couldn't inspect anything correctly. So one of the things we like to do is get this all nice and cleaned up so we can see what we're working with, make sure there's no damage here that's being hidden by years and years and years of grease and oil and dirt and crud. But this looks good. We don't see any damage anywhere. Take a look at this exhaust. How bad is this thing? Oh, wow. So all the pipes are good?
Pipes while we got it off, but I didn't really look at the pipe. But I mean,
It looks like somebody already put a tip on here. That's not factory.
It needs a muffler, new muffler bearing.
A new muffler bearing.
yeah, muffler bearings.
Well, I have some in my pocket. Yeah, so that's not as bad as what I thought it was going to be.
Well, the only thing is, I think it spun and sheared the pins.
This right here. Yeah, I saw that. Here's the original 9.3 whiskeys. It's just the tip.
What I'm worried about is where the hole.
Yeah, where that pin is right there.
Oh, yours didn't have it. Maybe that one don't either.
We're pinless.
But let me see the other side.
No pins in there either.
Oh, there's no pin in there. Yeah, because usually that clamp has a pin in it that keeps that thing alive.
Yeah, this one doesn't have one. This one only needs
That one might not be there.
needs the tip repaired. That's it. You'd probably send this out and just have a new tip put on, huh?
New tip put on it, yeah.
Probably going to be a lot more affordable. So I think we got the left and the right harness off.
This is off of there.
It's like
this
just
is loose.
a few little lines here, and I think it's going to come right off.
Okay, so these are a little bit of a fight in these things because they're bolted with a nut back behind it, bolted onto the oil case. So, you know, there's going to be one up here that's going to be hard to get.
Those zip ties or the
No,
the
it's
actual
a
rubber?
dowel clamp. Yeah, it's an
Okay.
Adele clamp. And like I said, it's kind of like this, and then the nut's here. So you got to go over top and then get the nut out. It makes it a bugger.
We're going to have to loosen the mag so it can spin the mags out of the way.
Spin to get through there.
Half inch.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, there she is. What's the chances if we Sawzall this, it springs?
Probably.
Kind of wondering if this has any bend to it at all. The firewall looks
that's
good.
what I would do is get the next thing would be to pull that mount out.
Firewall looks good.
Let's see what it does.
All right, so we got the motor off here, and want to remove the baffling yet, and we're going to take the carb off the bottom so we can set it down on a tire, and we're going to get this thing taken apart, parts we don't want going to the engine shop, so we'll go ahead and start tearing into it. So I got all the baffling off, the carbs off, and now making sure I get all the oil out of it. So that way it's kind of dry and we don't have any spillage anywhere. So I've had this open for a little while, but it's a small stream, but it's consistent. So I don't know if any of you ever worked on an airplane before, but it uses a heavy oil just like a race car, and it takes forever to drain. So we're gonna let this go, and as soon as that's done, then I can be able to get this onto some tires on top of a skid and ready for transport. So we'll be waiting.
Hey Joe, where'd your part go?
In the bucket.
In the oil.
2 pieces.
Two of them. Well, do you have a fishing pole?
No. Glad we get a strainer over on the funnel into the barrel because it's going to go in there and
It'd be
dry
like
out.
you could do bobbing for apples, bobbing for parts. As we're taking this apart, I noticed this one intake tube on the left side has this kind of like wire-tied signal hose. I didn't take this portion apart up here. Do you remember what this went to, Joe?
No.
It was something that was cut over here. I remember you guys cutting it, but anyway, this is the intake hose. There's a tiny little slit opening here, and this is just hose clamped onto here. I don't like that at all. That's not the way it's getting put back together. We're gonna find out what that goes to, and we're definitely gonna find a better way of doing that. Like, that's like a no. That can't be the way it's supposed to be. That can't. Actually, I'm gonna take this thing apart. There's no way that's supposed to be that way. Yeah, to me that just doesn't seem like the best way to get an intake signal. I mean, if this is the way it's in the manual, like, I will be floored because, yeah, that's just not good. That's not good. We're gonna find a different way of doing this, whatever it is. I don't like that at all. Not good. So the only thing we really gonna do yet today is go ahead and get this mount off. Now, there's pass-through bolts that go in all the different mounting points in here. There's 5 of them. This mount's completely ruined, so we're just gonna go ahead. We're gonna cut it here, cut it down there, and do the same on the other side. So we can see if there's any tension on this as well. I have a feeling that this is probably a little bit bent yet, and it's going to just kind of let that pressure go. So then that way these bolts will come right out. We don't have to like hammer them out or do anything like that against the airframe. So I'd rather just cut this up, pop it right out, and that'll release any pressure that may be on it from this thing being bent up. So I went ahead and used the cutoff wheel. We cut that off. It did pinch in 2 different places, so there was definitely some pressure on this. It released all the pressure from here. That'll make it much easier to get this thing off, and it's looking like really good. So this whole firewall area, I mean, it looks really, really good. Yeah, feeling good about it. So all we got to do now is go ahead and get this engine. We'll continue draining it. We'll get it over to the engine shop. We'll have them check this thing out and see what we got. So my question for you guys is, what do you guys think? I mean, you guys saw the prop. You see what the prop looked like. It's right over there. We'll look at it in a second, but what do you guys think this thing's going to take? When we dialed it out at under 1,000, so run out. So the flange, it's not bent. It's in good shape. They're going to Magnaflux everything. Do you think the crankshaft's going to be good? Do you think the crankshaft's going to be bad? Let us know. Say something in the comments. I mean, what have you guys ran into? So far, every crank we sent out, even if it was a prop strike, was okay. So I don't know. Have you guys ever had any that dialed out and were bad crankshafts? So, I mean, here's the prop. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, this thing is bent. I mean, it is really, really bent. So when we have a hard prop strike engine, it's going out to an overhaul shop every time. Yeah, just so it can be like checked out, it can be gone over completely. And then that way we have 100% confidence in it. And we can also have it ran on an engine, kind of like an engine dyno or like a run-in stand. That way we know it's ready to go when we bolt it on an airplane, and we don't have to like take it off again and do this or do that, because we've had to do that in the past. So I don't know, everything's looking good. So Joe's over here cleaning the tools up, and we're getting ready to get out of here because we ran out of time. There's a whole bunch of stuff to do on the 235 yet, but we get a call tonight.
Yep. Just got to make sure I got a clean shop to come into in the morning.
Oh my gosh, clean shop's like so important. So awesome, guys. Hey, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for being part of Rebuild Rescue. Take care.